children, welcome back to our online class. Students, take out your English 1 book. Okay, so in the last class we have already discussed chapter number 5, that is the old gentleman. So take out page number 29. So today we'll start the rest of the portion. Take out page number 30, the last third paragraph. She told them what the doctor had said and what mother had said. And now she said, see, when she had told all, there is no one but us to do anything that we have got to do. Got to do it. When the 9:15 came, then they thought, that the children thought it is useless to tell their mother. So they decided that whatever we have to now, we have only to do. Now when that 9:15 came out of the tunnel that morning, the old gentleman in the first class carriage put down his newspaper and got ready to wave his hand to the 3 children by the fence. But this morning there were not 3, there were only 1, and that was Peter. So one morning when the red-green dragon was coming, okay, then the old gentleman was ready to wave his hand, but when he came, when he saw that it was not the 3 children, there were only 1, and that was Peter. Peter was pointing to something, and what he was pointing at was a large white sheet nailed against the fence. On the sheet there was a thick black letters more than a foot long. So now when Peter was pointing something to the old gentleman, he was pointing to a large letter, okay, large letter which was nailed against the fence. Now do you know the fencing? Fencing means the small sticks which used to serve as a guard, okay. And this is what the old gentleman and several other people in the train read in the large black letters on the white sheet. So many of them have read the letters. Look out at the station. A good many people did look out at the station and were disappointed. So the people, when they looked at the letter, they were very much disappointed, for they saw nothing unusual. The old gentleman looked out too, and at first he too saw nothing more unusual than the gravel platform and the sunshine and the wallflowers and forget-me-nots in the station borders. It was only just as the train was beginning to puff and pull itself together to start again, and he was quite out of breathing with running. So at that time Phyllis came running, okay. The old gentleman can see Phyllis running towards the fence. Oh, she said, I thought I would miss you. Here, take it. She thrust a warm damp letter into his hand as the train moved. So she handed the letter to the old gentleman. He leaned back in his corner and opened the letter. So the old gentleman opened the letter and he read, Dear Mister, we do not know your name. Mother is ill and the doctor says to her the things at the end of the letter, but she says she cannot afford it. We do not know anybody here but you, because father is away and we do not know his address. Father will pay you. We promise it on our honor. Will you give the parcel to the station master, because we don't know what train you come down by. Say it is for Peter that was sorry about the coals, and he will know all right. Robert, Phyllis and Peter. Now these children had written one letter to the old gentleman saying that their mother is ill and the doctor had prescribed certain things which they don't have money to buy it. So they thought the old gentleman might be knowing their father, okay. So the children told him to help them out, okay, help them out, and they also promised that their father will pay them later. Why? Because they also does not know where their father is, but the actual reason is their father died, and they does not know that their father died, and that is why they also asked the old gentleman to give the parcel to the station master, because they does not know where by they knows only when the green dragon goes, but the coming train, in which train the old gentleman comes, they doesn't know. So they told that to give the parcel to the station master. Okay, then came the list of things the doctor had ordered. The old gentleman read it through once and his eyebrows went up. He read it twice and smiled a little. When he read it thrice, he put it in his pocket and went on reading the Times. So he read the letter several times. Okay. At about 6 that evening, there was a knock at the back door. The 3 children rushed to open it, and there stood the friendly porter who had told them so many interesting things about railways. He dumped down a big hamper and some flowers in the kitchen. So there was a knock in the door. So the 3 children rushed to the door to see who it was. And it was the porter. Okay. Then they brought a hamper and some flowers, and he handed over it to them. The old gentleman, he said, he asked me to fetch up straight away. Then he said, the old gentleman told you to give this hamper. Thank you very much, said Peter. Then the children undid the hamper. First there was a straw, then there was a fine shavings, and then all the things they asked for, and plenty of them. There was a letter too. So they opened the hamper. At first there was a straw and there was a fine shavings. Fine shaving means very thin pieces of wood used for packing material. That means they are still unpacking the material. And after that, when they opened, they have seen the necessary things which they had asked for. And there was also a letter attached. Now what is written in that letter? Let us see. Dear Roberta and Phyllis and Peter, here are the things you want. Your mother will want to know where they came from. Tell her that they were sent by a friend who heard she was ill. When she is well again, you must tell her all about it, of course. And if she says you ought not to have asked for the things, tell her that I say you were quite right, and that I hope she will forgive me for taking the liberty to allowing myself a very great pleasure. So it is the letter written by the old gentleman. What it is written? It is written that here are the things that you have asked me. And if your mother asks that who have sent all these things, you say that it is her friend. Okay, it is her friend who heard that she is ill, and when she denied to take all these things, you make her understand that he asked apology for helping them out. Okay, and also he added that it is a very much pleasure for helping their mother. Okay, so and the letter was signed GP, something that the children couldn't read. So there is also a signature called signature by GP, but they could not understand. I think we were right, said Phyllis. Right, of course we were right, said Roberta. All the time, said Peter with his hands in his pocket. I don't exactly look forward to telling mother the whole truth about it. So these children, they decided not to tell their mother, because when these medicines were prescribed, she denied to take. Now if they will say these things to mother, then the mother may deny to take these things again. So better they will reveal the truth afterwards. We are not to do till she is well, said Roberta, and when she is well, she shall be so happy, and we shan't mind a little fuss like that. Oh, just look at the roses. I must give them to her. And the sweet briar, said Phyllis, sniffing it loudly. Don't forget the sweet briar. Then Roberta said, we shall tell her after she is completely well, and after that we will reveal her the story. Okay. Then and she said, let us keep the roses which came from the old man. Okay. Then she kept the roses for her mother. Okay. So this is all about the story. Okay, so we have come to the end of the story. So in the next class I shall give you the question answers. Okay, till then, thank you.